Hey everyone, what's going on? Spartan Warrior 5 again, today with another Black Ops commentary. And today, I think I want to introduce something different in my commentaries because I've been sort of running out of ideas on what to talk about. So, whenever I have nothing else to talk about, I think I'm going to be doing movie reviews. So, I'm going to start off today's review with a famous movie that most people know about. And I'm not sure if you guys would know this movie because it's pretty old. And the movie I'm talking about today is Citizen Kane. And highly viewed as one of the best films of all time. That's why it's so famous, is because, so many people find it to be, the greatest film ever made. Now, do I think it's the greatest film ever made? Possibly. Here's the plot. So we have our main character, Charles Foster Kane, opening up, and he's on his deathbed, and he says, "Rosebud," and he dies. And so, before he dies, his whole life is he's this famous newspaper owner, and he owns a bunch of radio stations, and he's multi-billionaire, and everyone knows him. He's really famous. And he's got this huge, ginormous castle that he's bought himself, and he collects all these statues and things like that. He, just wastes away all of his money on whatever he wants. And so, when he dies, this is big news, because, this whole wealth and fortune has been lost. So the news reporters are saying, well, we gotta find out what Rosebud means, because those were his dying words, so we gotta find out what that means. So they send a news reporter out to basically find out what Rosebud meant. He goes and interviews people who knew Kane and, did dealings with Kane, and we just basically go through his life. He wasn't always rich. He was born into, I'd say, lower middle class. And then his mother gets a mine as payment for, I don't know if it was just rent or something else. But she inherits this mine, and they find a bunch of gold in it worth $60 million. And Kane inherits it, and he gets sent off to boarding school, and that's where it all starts off. And yeah, so then after a bunch of more interviews and such, we found out more about Kane. He's been married twice. He married once and, had a divorce, and then he marries again. And, I mean, that's generally the entire plot. Now, I'm not going to give away what Rosebud is and things like that, but here's my general thoughts on the whole movie. Did I think it was the best film of all time? Again, I'm not really sure, because the film, it did have a lot of great things, but also there were some things I'm just like, it could have been better. So, the things I didn't like, first off, was the plot, really. I mean, when you find out what Rosebud is, it's really, really disappointing, in my eyes. I mean, they build it up throughout the entire movie to be this great, epic, thing, and then at the end it's just like, oh, that's what it was this whole time? Gosh, I want my money back, I mean, it's like, you really weren't expecting it, to be honest. Now, could that be a good thing, an unexpected ending? Yeah, it could be. But was it something that, kind of ruined the film? Not really exactly ruined it, but, it made it a bit worse for wear, in my eyes. Because I was expecting something more from it, but, really it didn't really deliver. So, if the plot wasn't very great, I mean, really, it's just the story of a man's life, and, that's basically really it. There's not much action or too much drama in it, so what made it so great? And what I think made it great was, and what many other people think made it great, was the actual shots, and the lighting, and, the different scenes, because Orson Welles, the man who directed the movie, came up with the new technique called deep focus, where everything in the shot is in focus, and it's never really been seen before in that time. So, I mean, it was really detailed, most of the scenes. There were some scenes that they didn't use the deep focus, and you could really tell that, you know, shots were out of focus and fuzzy. But, I mean, the ones that were just like, oh, man, just spot on, just brilliant. And also the lighting. The reporter, Mr. Thompson, throughout the entire film, basically, his face is covered in shadow. And it usually means, like, either evil presence or, you know, it gives a sinister kind of feel to it. And, I mean, just little things like that, like the editing and, you know, how the shots were actually made. That's, in my eyes, what made the film great. Because you don't really see shots like that in modern cinema. I mean, with modern movies these days, it's just scene and then cut. Another clip, cut. Another clip, cut. I mean, there's not really, you know, really awesome shots like a boom shot or, you know, low angle shots. They're just normal shots that, you know, are just there, and they're just like high intense action. And, you know, sometimes I would appreciate it if movies actually went back to their older roots and used techniques of the, you know, older times. Because, to be honest with you guys, I've noticed this in even TV and movies. It's all just cut, cut, cut. There's no really editing in it, you know? So, that's something that I really appreciated with the movie, and that I think really made it shine and stick out from other movies. Now, that's basically my review. Out of 5 stars, I'd give Citizen Kane about a 4.5 out of 5. Let's give it that. I mean, really, the whole plot, it didn't really kill the movie, but it didn't really make it that much better either. It had image, but no substance. That's how I like to see it. So, thanks guys for watching. If you like this movie review and you want to see more reviews, let me know in the comment sections below. And, thanks for stopping by. I'll talk to you guys later.